You'd think, wouldn't you? After what? After
over a year.
Over a year of doing Thursdays Ask Auntie Dee, that I'd actually know what to do by now, but no, I haven't got a clue. My mind just goes blank. But hey ho, it's an age thing apparently.
No, it's not.
Good evening. I'm just going to wait for this now to burst into life. We smashed tablet of terror. I blame Madge. She gets frustrated with it, you see, and then just throws it across the room.
She probably doesn't get frustrated with the tablet. She gets frustrated with you.
She gets frustrated with me. Everybody gets frustrated with me. I get frustrated with me. Anyway, people are starting to come in. Here we are now. So I'm just going to share this amazing, beautiful face of mine. Hello, Catherine Jane Jackson. How are you, my darling? Live. No. And then I'm going to pass this over to Girl Child.
You called?
Huh? Oh. Share this video with friends. I think I have. Right post. Live now. Do you know what? I think there's a bit of a delay thing in this house because...
No, it's just you.
It's just me. I have shared it. Good evening, Mark Richard. Good evening, Richard Megason. Good evening, Catherine Jane Jackson. How are you, my beautiful people? Here we are. It's Thursday. It's 7 o'clock. It's Ask Auntie Dee on Balls to Cancer. It's technically 4 minutes past. It's technically 4 minutes past because I was just getting ready to go live and I had to run off. The big question that you always ask the children before you leave the house: go to the toilet, go to the toilet, go to the toilet. So I did. But there you go. Hello, Chrissy Trenchfield. How are you, my darling? Hope you're well. Hope you're both well. Are we well?
I'm well. Don't know about you.
Hashtag girl child's well. Chet, hello, my darling. How are you? Happy birthday to your lovely dad, Chet. Hope he's had an absolute fantastic day. So here we are, and here you are. Every Thursday, as you know, at 7 to 8 on Facebook and YouTube Live, we do our Ask Auntie Dee. Now, this week, we've decided to do something kind of different, and our special guest is actually an expert in the field of oncology, which completely threw the children the other night because they were like, well, what's oncology? He's an expert in the field of cancer, basically. So I just think it'd be nice just to get kind of a different perspective on things. I mean, we've gone through a phase of our scheduled guests just not turning up or turning up really late, hence why the show ran over by about half an hour last week, because Dean just didn't turn up. And God bless if Mark Richard hadn't kept saying spin that wheel, I'd have been off having a cup of tea with my feet up and he'd have been here all on his own thinking what's going on. Nigel Diggins, hello my darling, and Jay Stewart. Oh, I'll always be your babby, AG. Some babby, as they say. Some babby. And we've got Wendy Marie. Oh, Wendy. Hi from sunny Spain. I see, you're having an absolutely fantastic time. And so you should be. Do you know what I mean? You absolutely deserve the break, my darling. So I hope you're resting up. And drinking all the sangria under the sun. And just basically enjoying yourself, my darling, because you deserve it. You really, really do. And I love you loads. Can't wait. I keep saying, do you know how many people I've actually got to catch up with? Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we've got to meet up. We've got to this. We've got to that. I never bloody do. It's mad. But I don't know. There's going to be a shake-up in the Ask Auntie Dee household very, very soon. And no, I'm not throwing Girl Child out because I'd be absolutely lost without her. I've got to breathe. I've got to reevaluate. reassess, you know, what it's like. Been a little bit poorly, but, you know, enough about me. Enough about me. And again, you know what I'm saying? I've got my beautiful Sonia. Hello, Sonia. How are you, my darling? Hope you're feeling better today. And McBride, you know, I absolutely love you. And I kind of like, it's really weird because I always go, it was McBride's birthday not so long ago. And I do like to do him a little special happy birthday, and he posted, obviously, remember the video that we did, was it the year before? And I seen it, and he was kind of like, oh, I wonder how you're going to top this year. And I thought, you know, I felt so bad because I hadn't got the energy to do it. I just went, happy birthday. Do you know what I mean? But you know, you're right, guys. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I've got to say no more. Don't say that, Sue. I've only just started. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like if I sat here and didn't say any more, it'd be like the longest 50 minutes of everybody's lives.
Don't we know it?
Of everybody's lives. But I don't know about putting me first, Sonia, but, you know, it's easier said than done, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, come on, it's well publicised that I'm not actually right, shall we say. I never have actually been right, but I'm an all right person. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I would do anything for anybody. Just unfortunately, I tend not to do much for myself. Hence why. Anyway, I love you all. Good evening, Joe. How are you, my darling? Leslie. Oh, hello, beautiful. I hope you're feeling better as well. And the lovely Brummy niece is in. I love that name, Brummy niece. I love anything Brummy, I really, really do. But yeah, so there you go. So what have we got on the tablet of terror at the moment? Who's tuning in? Hashtag girl child.
Heidi Anderson.
Oh, hi Heidi. Joe, honest to God, this again. I mean, you asked Catherine, God bless her.
Oh, yeah, Joe, just don't bother. You won't hear from her for like another 3-4 months. At a push a year.
I'll just go through these, you know, it's weird. And this is social media, isn't it? Social media just allows you kind of like to just say how you're kind of feeling or this, that and the other. And it is kind of, I don't know, it's an outlet. I mean, you say it myself. I say it myself. You know, like people that post like, oh, I'm having a bad day, and then people are like, what's up? And then you completely ignore them. Well, I've kind of been doing that a bit, so I've actually been doing what really annoys me. But I think it's really strange because it's an outlet there for you to post stuff up, because it's either that or I just sit here and just scream to myself, and that's just worse, I think, isn't it? Imagine.
Yeah, I think you need to take a leaf out a page out of Joe's book, remove some of your social media.
Do you know, it's hard as well when you kind of like, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because
I'll just take your laptop and phone and tablet off you for the day.
Yeah, you can do, but that's kind of like, and this
to work.
Yeah, I think the difference is, do you know what I mean? It's like when social media is kind of like
and
your job, if that makes sense. It's really hard, but hey ho, it's one of them ones, isn't it? Oh, hello, gorgeous Heidi. How are you, my darling? Sean, is Fitzy, is that pictures of little bums?
No, it's hands.
Bum cheeks. Oh, the hands.
Oh my God.
I thought Fitzy had posted like a whole row of little emojis of little bum cheeks. We've got Stevie in, who spent all afternoon with his grandkids. See, how old are you, Stevie? Because you don't actually look old enough to have grandkids, if I'm being completely honest with you. But you've got to cherish the time. You've got to cherish the time with your family. You really do, Caitlin.
I don't know what you're laughing at me for. Carry on.
Do you know what I mean? Family and friends are very, very, very important. And I'd just like to say to each and every single one of you, thank you so much for being there for me and for being there for each other, because you're all pretty damn amazing. That's all I'm going to say. So, yes, who's tuning in, kiddo? She's going to arrow back. not arrow back, what's the word?
You've caught up
Scroll.
with everyone?
I've caught up with everybody. That's probably because I talk really, really, really fast.
Yeah, you do.
So there you go. So how is everybody enjoying the summer, enjoying the weather, enjoying the school holidays? Today has been one of them what I can only describe as psycho days.
Yeah.
Not psycho days. We've had sun, we've had hurricane winds, we've had absolutely torrential rain. So again, we've just got to be careful because, well, not be careful, just typical British weather, isn't it? To be fair, but it's stopped raining now. But also, it's kind of one of them, isn't it, where it's so hot. I mean, I don't know. Am I like going through? I don't know. I think I might be going through.
Whitfield's actually 51.
See, I wouldn't have put him at 51.
I'm just laughing at Joe Bolton's comment.
I know, but I know exactly. I do. It's one of them, and I do say that, but I never say it sort of like. I mean, I used to. Oh, and that's not the.
I think maybe you should actually just start saying that. Have an automated message service when everyone sends you a message.
I mean, an automated message service. That's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? But you know, whatever happened to the good old days where you could just actually say it to someone's face.
I told you just to say it.
No, Kate, I've got a reputation to upkeep.
I get it.
Complete reputation to upkeep my skin. Oh, guys, it's one of them ones, and I just fall apart come a certain time of the year, and it's like I do.
Certain time of the year, sweetheart, it's all year round.
Well, apparently, it's all year round.
24/7, 12 months out of 12.
When you're ready.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is my reputation, Joe. You're right, but kind of, I don't know. I've changed. I've changed, but now I'll change back soon. Honest to God. And we've got the lovely Auntie James in as well. Hello, Andy. See, every time I come in here, I get a real tickly nose. I think Andy Conway accused me of being on drugs last week because I couldn't stop rubbing my nose. I don't know. I'm allergic to everything.
Don't we know?
Anyway, I've got allergic to everything. I've got the most sensitive skin in the whole wide world, even though it looks like rhino skin. I'm practically allergic to water. No comments. I do bathe. Maybe I bathe a bit too much actually. So yeah. So oh my God, hello Marie, how are you? One of my childhood friends used to go to junior school. How are you, my darling? I hope you're well, Marie. Again, it's just so easy. It's so easy to say, isn't it? See, I don't do pets either, do I? I'm not a pet person at all.
I don't know how we're related.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't know how we related? I gave birth to you.
I want a doggy. Well, you said no.
When hashtag girl child sits there and goes, I don't know how we're related. I hate to break it to you, Caitlin, but I gave birth to you.
Unfortunately.
Oh, so we've got, hiya, Chris.
Have you just made yourself bleed?
I have, yeah, but hello, Chris. How are you, my darling? I hope you're feeling better too. What are we like? I think we're all absolutely and utterly ready for something called the knacker shard. I am Grumpy Joe. I'm the actual, I am the Grinch. This is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? I am the absolute Grinch. Poor Andy. He got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And I think, is that lost your wife in the last year? Oh, no, sorry, Andy. Lost his life to it in last year. See, it's so debilitating, isn't it? And it's like... And this is like coming up like really bad at the moment. There's quite a few people that I know of who are being diagnosed with real debilitating illnesses and life. It's not as if it's hard enough at the moment. Do you know what I mean? We're all absolutely knackered. We should just all go to like one of these big like resort things and just check ourselves in and just sit there and be grumpy and old together. See that? It was like a sneaky hairdo just coming into the side of the screen. Yeah. But there you go. Loads of sneaky hairdos. I had a little visit off the niece today. Who, oh God, I don't know. It's like Caitlin says, never again on a Thursday, Mum. You know what I mean? It's
In
all.
the nicest possible way.
I'll be in no fit state to look after the grandkids when they come, Caitlin.
You better fix it.
Nudge, nudge, hint, hint. No, I don't know. I'm not nudging you really. I don't want to be a nan yet.
You're acting like I want to be a mum.
Huh?
Slow your roll, Pudding.
You're acting like I want to be a mum. That's my girl. High five.
Too far.
I'm too young. Yeah, it is, isn't it, too? I'm too young to be a nan anyway.
Not really.
Of course I'm too young to be a
No,
nan.
you're not.
Of course I am.
No, you're not, because Julie McDermott's younger than you.
Loads of people are younger than me, but I'm too young to be a nan. Your brother will make me a nan before you will anyway.
You know what? He actually would.
Yeah. So we're halfway through the school holidays. Diane's popped in. Hello, Diane. How are you, sweetheart? I mean, I must admit, I don't do pets, but that is a cute little dog. Pass it.
It's so gorgeous, little putty pooch.
Oh, look. You can't see. He is, I'm presuming it's a he. He is really cute. But like I said, it's the same as kids, isn't it? They're all cute. As long as you can send them home. I mean, obviously, I can't send you home. You are home. You know what I'm saying? I know, Marie. And this is what I'm saying. But don't be telling everyone how old we are, Marie. But we're all like now, isn't it?
What?
50.
You are.
I'm old. I'm not old.
Well, I feel old because I'm at the halfway point next year.
I know. You'll be 25 next year. Oh, my God. 25?
Can I get to 24?
Huh? Honest to God. You're 24 next year.
Huh?
And Gerard, no, you're 24 this year.
We had this discussion last year.
We have this discussion every year. I just don't know how old my kids are. It's really weird, isn't it? How old are your kids? I don't know. Date of births, I keep getting mixed up and all. I don't know when anyone was.
Yeah, because
really
for some
born.
reason you keep putting down Ena's date of birth as my date of birth. And my date of birth down Ena's date of birth.
And Gerard as well.
Oh,
See, I agree, Heidi. We
fishy.
should have levels. I'll be level 50. Now that sounds worse.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't sound cool.
No, it does.
Does it?
It means like
Levels.
you're the top level, like you
Well, not quite the
smash
top.
through the
Not
game.
quite the top, I hope.
Smash through the game.
Game over.
Not yet.
Game over. No, I can't be doing that either. I've missed a few messages here. See, this is the thing.
Hi,
and
Mama C.
I know, Mama C's in the house. Oh, bless her. I'll always shout everybody out, Andy. I mean, I'm a bit useless. Because this is what
Andy Conway's funny.
Andy Conway is not funny. Don't humour him because he'll think he's funny, if that makes sense. But I do absolutely love me Queenie Conway. I really do. But listen, yo, Queenie. Oh my God. See, I've got two Queenies, but the original Queenie is in the house. Hello, Queen. What's this? It's like a junior school reunion. How are you, my little friend? They're all popping in tonight. Is there something I don't know? You know, like a surprise party or something. Yo, yourself.
Wow, it's
Alison.
a surprise because I don't know about it.
Definitely a surprise. Alison doesn't know about it either. See, do you know, you're right, Andy. There's so many people, and this is what I'm going to say. We're going to talk to obviously Professor when he comes on tonight. Is about, because obviously we've just come out, or we're coming out of this crazy, you know, lockdown and restrictions, and everything have been lifted and stuff like that. And it's strange. It's a strange feeling. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, because I'm always very honest. That's why I just ignore my views, because sometimes it's like, because you have to tell the truth, don't you? When you ask me, you have to tell the truth. I'm kind of still scared about coming out of stuff, and you kind of like, I think it's because you become institutionalized. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. See, I don't want to get the name wrong, but honest to God. But like I said last week, I'd like to say a massive congratulations to my beautiful adopted niece, Shannon, and Davy, for the birth of their beautiful little girl, Alayli. Oh, I know. And again, I know I missed a video call, and I said I'd call you back, and I didn't.
Because you won.
Yeah, I'm absolutely useless. I don't even know why I've got a phone.
Let's just ask this. Ellie Fisher, how does she feel knowing her little girl's nearly 25?
See, Ellie, this is like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like they reach milestones, don't they? They reach milestones, and we can completely forget that we're actually, every time they reach a milestone, then boom, that's it, game over for us. What can I say? Janice, hello, beautiful lady. How are you, my darling? And thank you for joining us again. See, I thought, you never know with Chet, do you know what I mean? Because obviously Chet's put here, we took him out for an Indian in Manchester, and I thought he was going to tell a joke.
Oh my God, you're just rubbish. Absolutely rubbish.
Because Chet is the one who does do real, like, I don't think we can call them dad jokes, do you know what I mean? But they're pretty like
dad jokes.
Dad jokes, yeah. Oh, bless you. So I'm so glad your dad's had a lovely birthday, Chet. But no joke, yeah. Sorry, I do apologise. I think when Chet's been serious, I think he's joking. I was waiting for the punchline. I'm always waiting for the punchline. But then again, it's one of them, innit, where I just open my mouth and speak, and then you're like, oops, my bad. Have to do that an awful lot. You know what? That's a sign of Miss Kelly. I went through that in the last lockdown. I lost. See, that's it. It's all the oomph in it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, and it's one of them when you kind of lose it. It's so hard to get it back. You know what I mean? It's like that's the bit I can't get my head round. It's so, I don't know. Just checking out because people are sending me pictures of babies. Am I allowed to show it, Kaz? Let me have a look. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. Oh wow, look. She's gorgeous. And I did really, really, really want it to be born on my birthday. There's loads of babies that were being born. I wanted them to be born on my birthday. But no, he's hung up. Like little Manny, he had his twins. Oh, my little William, he's a daddy now. His little twins, little Brody and Oakley. Oh, man.
Oakley's strange but lovely.
It's a beautiful name, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not getting broody or anything, do you know what I mean?
Like you can anyway.
Well, no, I can't actually, can I? No, I can't. You can get broody. Do you get broody?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
Huh?
But then I can't spend time with my nieces and nephews and then realise,
no! Caitlin gets broody and then she shoots off and spends time with her godchildren, and then all that broodiness just completely disappears. Keep it that way, girl child. Keep it that way. So come on then, you lovely people. How are we all doing? And again, if we can just say, this is the time now where we have to really, really up fundraising for this amazing charity. So guys, if you're online now and you can afford to donate £3, then please text balls to 70085. So that's balls to 70085. Now guys, obviously, as you know, we normally do a winner spinner. Demand has been so high for everything at Balls to Cancer HQ. Mark and Sue, God bless them, that they're just non-stop. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break from Winner Spinner. But what I might do is make an executive decision, and we could kind of, it could sort of come back. But I think what we'll do is that we can kind of do it. It's just, we need to reach more people. So I beg of you, can you all please, whenever you see anything from Balls to Cancer, share and retweet and add to story, because we are absolutely desperate to raise funds at the moment. And again, we've got some amazing events coming up, and you'll find them on Katie's charity raffle page. So yeah, please drop it a follow and have a look, and come and show your support. We've got another psychic night coming up soon. We've got a ladies' night on the 17th of September. So what I might do is I might just obviously that's Gerard's birthday though, isn't it? Yeah, it's Gerard's birthday.
Yeah, when did you find that out?
What do you mean, when did I find that? I found out when he was born.
Yeah, after being reminded the other day, you did.
Of my son's birthday.
Said to you the other day.
Oh yeah, you did. No, I didn't have to be reminded of my son's birthday.
I said to you, just to let you know, your son's birthday is a month today.
A month today. It was a month today. That's the bit that threw me. It's when she said, "Oh, don't forget your son's birthday's a month today," and I'm like, "What?" But his birthday's not until September. How can it be a month today? And I'm like, lo and behold, yeah, it is, because we're in August. She's just had food delivered. So I'm going to sit here now, and you'll probably just completely hear. It's what, honest to God, when you kind of like, you just, oh God, it smells absolutely delicious. I'm just going to cut this off in a minute and bite straight into that. Well, I'm not, because I don't like it, do I? What's wrong?
I kill you.
You kill me. You kill me. This is the thing, you can never ever mess about with Belchard and food. So tonight they've gone for burritos, because I've been promising them. I've been promising them for ages that I was going to take them to this burrito shop, and obviously I haven't. It's the same as you guys. The way I promised I'm going to return your calls and return your messages and just speak to people, and I don't. But I don't do it out of rudeness. No, I really don't do it. I don't
would have labelled these.
Yeah, really. I really don't do it out of rudeness. But yeah, I just don't. So obviously, I think they gave up the will tonight, and they've just ordered from there, and they've ordered from there themselves, because they're very good at that. The kids are. So tonight, the children are having burritos. I think Caitlin's got a pulled pork one, yeah.
Yeah.
And your brother's got what? Chicken. But obviously he needs to be careful, because there's a chicken shortage.
I know.
That's why.
The first restaurant to be hit was Nando's. Now that actually shocked me.
There are other chicken outlets available.
I would have thought KFC would have been the first one to have a shortage.
Do you think? Yeah. Maybe they grow their own chicken. Chickens. They probably do. But obviously this one, she's obsessed with chicken. So I honestly do not know what I would do if the country just ran out of chicken. Yeah, exactly, Ellie. That's all she does. She posts food all over her Facebook. I don't know. Well, listen.
I'm not apologising for it, and I'm not going to stop doing it anytime soon.
There you go.
So
she's not going to apologise. And she's not going to... So the timing is absolutely perfect now, because as they sit there and tuck into their dinner, I'm going to welcome on to our live tonight's very, very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Karol Sikora. Hello and good evening.
Hi there.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
No, it's great. And I guess you're in Birmingham with your accent, yes?
Oh, can you tell? I do try to, no, and I would never try and disguise this accent. Yes, I am Birmingham.
Yeah, it's up the road. I live in Beaconsfield, so it's the direct train takes an hour and a quarter or something. Very good.
See, you're very like me, you are, because that's something that I'd say. I remember saying it all the time, like, oh, my kids are only up the road. And they're like, no, Dee, they're about 4 hours away from. But you can't beat that expression, just up the road.
No, up the road. That's what you are.
Thank you very much. Now, obviously, we're absolutely honoured that you've taken the time out to join us tonight. So much so that obviously, we did ask people if they've got any questions, that they could direct to you. But can you just tell everybody who's tuning in tonight a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I was born in Scotland, and I moved down my parents moved down to London, and I did my medical training, and then became professor of oncology at Imperial College. It wasn't called Imperial College then, it was Hammersmith Charing Cross. And I was a consultant at Cambridge first, and my job there was to look after men with testicular cancer. So that's why I first came into the balls for cancer business. And then more recently, I ran the prostate clinic at Hammersmith, and now I've set up the Rutherford centers, which do proton therapy. But I'm old, clearly. I've been a consultant for 40 years, and I have no hobbies whatsoever other than and trains, ironically. So if I had to come to Birmingham tomorrow, I'd come up by train. There you go.
My goodness, I mean, obviously, with sort of your field, I'm surprised of course, you wouldn't have time for any hobbies at all. And that's kind of, the thing about you is that, obviously, with following you on social media, etc., obviously, you are so passionate about what you actually do, which is good. It's good to see.
Well, the social media is something completely new to me. And it really happened a year and a half ago at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, because I could see what was going to happen. Cancer was going to be washed away, like heart attacks, strokes. The NHS moved into COVID. And so I set up a Twitter account. A friend of mine said, why don't you do a Twitter account? He was an oncologist, retired oncologist. And he told me, if you were good, Karol, within a month, you could have 100 followers. And within a month, I had about 10,000, and now I've got about 340,000 or something. And it's crazy. It's not a nice media, though, I feel. I mean, I do it, but I think there's a lot of nastiness. There are a lot of people that want to hit out at something, and they're clearly disturbed by it all. And
most definitely, and that's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's kind of like, it's the same as everything, isn't it? With something that could do so good.
Exactly.
It's just not regulated in any way, shape, or form. But it's like, I mean, I do find like when you're responding to people, the positivity that you respond with, it's just so amazing. And we need to obviously see more of that. But Twitter it's like a whole different world of social media, isn't it? It's like,
What I find bizarre about it all is that lazy journalists just use the social media to make stories, and they just write stories from that. They just sit in their own houses, they just spend an hour or two on Twitter or the other social media channels, and then they write a story without confirming anything. Saying, mentioned on Twitter, blah, 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 blah. All the quotes are from Twitter, and it's lazy journalism that people don't phone you up. But there you go. It's the modern world.
Oh, well, welcome to it. I mean, I was a late joiner myself.
Well, BTC's on there. I keep seeing it's always coming out on the front sheet. When you log into it, there, balls to cancer. Fabulous.
There you go. Now, obviously, we have asked people, if that's okay with you, if they've got any questions, etc. But I am going to start off with what Heidi's put here. And Heidi has actually put, it's not an actual question, but she just wants to say a massive thank you to you for everything that you do.
Thank you very much. I was just getting concerned here because I was looking up because it's pouring with rain in Beaconsfield, and I'm in the conservatory, but we're all right. We can carry on. I wonder what the noise was,
I think it's not long.
That's great.
Oh, bless you. And this one say, and Michelle as well, who's come back on this week, she's been really poorly. And obviously, this Ask Auntie Dee, we do it every Thursday, Professor. And it's kind of like, it's like a little family. It's a family of people. who are going through cancer, who've been affected by cancer, or they've survived cancer, which is absolutely amazing. And
Yeah.
just to have people on, it's kind of like in the interaction, it does actually mean the world. It's like an hour out. It's an hour out where we can just have a chat. We can sort of, discuss foods, what our favourite colour, what we're doing, and it's like, so to see someone of your stature supporting this absolute fantastic charity, it does actually mean the world to me, to Balls to Cancer, and to everybody here as well.
No, I think it's a great. Men are different from women, as we all know, and men tend not to go to the doctor. They tend to belittle their symptoms. They hide them away. They don't even talk to their partners. They just carry on with it. Especially in Britain, there's something about British males that really don't like medicine. They don't like doctors. They don't like being women. If they get a breast lump, for example, or if they have problems, abdominal pain, they go to the doctor. They make an appointment. They sort it out. I know it's difficult to get to see your GP, but women do go, but men don't. And some men really never go. I've seen some dreadful cancers in men because they're just not bothered with it. They don't want to. They're either embarrassed or they just don't want to get involved in their own health. And that's the tragedy, really.
I mean, how can we kind of like, or, when I say we, I mean everybody, how can you change, or do you think we ever will change the male perspective on going to see a GP? Because there is so much more awareness out there now, but sadly, like you say, there's still so many people who won't seek help. I think I saw something today, is it 1 in 45 men, or something like a week, or maybe even a day, that die from cancer.
Yeah, there's no doubt that men, and the earlier you get cancer, the better the outcomes, whatever cancer it is, there's no doubt. And men are poor attenders. They're poor to press the button. I mean, we're all the same. If you're ill, whatever it is, whether it's a cold, whether it's a flu, whether it's a lump somewhere, there's got to be a threshold at which you do something. And women go at the right time on the whole. Men just delay it, too late. And now and again you get funny. I can vividly remember I was a casualty officer once in Tunbridge Wells, believe it or not. Nothing happens in Tunbridge Wells. Well, it didn't then. Anyway, it was a long time ago. And about 3 a.m, I was fast asleep in a little room we had beside the department. And I was woken up. I says, you better see this guy because he's very stroppy. And he pitched up in an Aston Martin, can you imagine? And he said, I've decided to come to see you now because I knew you wouldn't be busy. Oh, I was asleep, And he got a testicular swelling. He got a swelling in his testis. And so it was a genuine thing to do. But he's fine, he's alive, he was treated. He had testicular cancer, but what a thing to do, to pitch up in an emergency room at 3 a.m. There's no need for that. There's
the minds of men, the minds of men.
He just assumed that there'd be people standing there ready to feel his goolies and prescribe, get him onto the treatment pathway. And, we're happy to do that, but please don't do it at 3 a.m.
Oh, bless. We've had a message come in as well from Kim. Now, Kim is one of our followers. And she's actually she's based in Sydney, Australia.
Crikey, all that way.
Yes. It's only up the road, Professor. It's only up the road.
I'll get the train there tomorrow.
But she's asked, can you sort of say, how effective is immunotherapy in bladder cancer? Because her partner has actually got bladder cancer, and I'm presuming now that they're doing the immunotherapy.
Right, that's a very interesting question. And, until 5 years ago, we didn't do it for bladder cancer. But over the last 3 years, it's clear that in quite a lot, more than 50% of the patients, and there's a marker you can find in the tumor that you can pick it up called PD-1. And if that's elevated, then it's likely that immunotherapy will work. And so in bladder cancer, it's become massive. And so nearly everybody that's got bladder cancer now is offered, if it's spread through the bladder wall, into the lymph nodes, into other organs, we offer them immunotherapy. And it's great. I mean, it's not without its problems, so that you do get some unpleasantness, but only about 3% of people get unpleasant symptoms with immunotherapy. And it is very effective. It's very expensive as well, of course. I mean, the cost of immunotherapy is about £100,000 a year, but it's if it works, if it works, it's great. Before that, we used to use chemotherapy all the time. And chemotherapy does work. It works in about a third of patients, and not the problem with it is it's unpleasant. I mean, you lose your hair, you have all sorts of other side effects in the bowels, in the urinary tract as well. So immunotherapy has been it's changed the way we look at bladder cancer, as well as other cancers, head and neck cancer and so on. But bladder cancer, it was a surprise because it was tried in a large trial of different cancers. There it showed bladder cancer responded to immunotherapy. So it's used now.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. And again, it's kind of like we've had another question in as well, because obviously it's someone that she doesn't actually want to be named, but she's saying obviously before COVID, her partner was being seen by the local hospital and was due scans for a suspected tumour at the top of his spine and in like his brain. Now, obviously, because of COVID, all treatments and scans, etc., were cancelled. It's like, I mean, presumably from like kind of my point of view, that was like a big mistake. How do you feel on the way that, cancer patients or even people who sort of, were in the early stages, do you feel as well that they've been massively let down due to
I think it was really sad what happened way back in March, mainly April 2020 was the worst month. Every day you expect about 1,000 people to be diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
2020, there were less than 200 being diagnosed throughout the whole month. So that means it wasn't that people weren't getting cancer, it's just they weren't coming forward. Part of it was patient fear, they didn't want to go. Second thing was the doctors were not available. General practice sort of shut down a bit. If I say this on Twitter, I get a storm of anger from GPs. And then after that, the hospitals were bolted down. I mean, it's like going to Fort Knox to go to any hospital. And they couldn't get the CT scans and the MRI scans, all the scans that are necessary to diagnose cancer weren't being done. So it was a difficult time. Much better now. And if you actually look at the number of life years lost, COVID, the average age of death with COVID was 82.5 years. So it's quite old.
Yeah.
Whereas with cancer, it's a lot younger. And if you take some cancers like testicular cancer in men, it's much, much younger. People in their 20s and 30s get that. So clearly more effort has to be put. Whatever happens now with COVID, and it does seem to be going away slowly, but whatever happens, we've got to keep cancer services going. And that's really very important, not just for men, but for women as well. Let's not be sexist about life.
No, most definitely. And that's the thing. It's kind of like, obviously, this is what we always stress here. Cancer seems to be one of the only things that doesn't discriminate. It doesn't discriminate against gender, against age, against colour or religion. And that's the thing with cancer.
Yeah. Every year we have to do these mandatory courses on equality and diversity. Us old boys, we find it a bit strange because we don't care when we see cancer, but we don't care their color, their religion, their sexuality. We are not interested. We're just interested in the cancer, and we'll do the best for them. And yet we're bombarded with this stuff every year. We've got to do it. If we don't do it, you don't get registered again for the next year. And we also have to do what's called continuous professional development, go to so
Yeah.
that's fair enough. I mean, we agree with that. But a lot of these mandatory things are just, and it's even worse than equality and diversity. It's fire extinguisher use.
Honestly, and this is just it just sort of springs to mind with regards to my dad. Obviously, my dad, he was like a construction worker. And
right.
it's just so funny because they'd been working on building sites, building houses, etc., for probably about 50 years, and then they were all sent on a health and safety course. And they were given this manual where they had to learn and go and sit a test.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole side, everybody of his age group, they just had to but we've all lost our jobs because we've been doing this job for 50 years. And now obviously you have to actually take a health and safety exam. How does that work?
Well, health and safety has become a big industry. I know it's important. I'm not denying it, but there's a limit to what you can do, and it just does get ridiculous when you're wasting all these people's time for a whole day of doing these mandatory training. I mean, it's something that's crept in without anyone noticing.
Honestly, and if we can just ask, we've got Ellie who's popped in, and she's obviously talking about her mum, who's currently on a 2-week of intensive chemotherapy and radiotherapy.
Right.
Now, as a family member, she wants to know, are there any signs that you know of that they can look out for? Because every time they speak to her mum is constantly saying, I'm okay, which is, what most people would do to put their family at ease.
Yes, it's very strange how cancer patients do that when they're on treatment, because the family are very concerned about them. Not naturally, they want to know what's going on. And people tend to play down the symptoms, but a lot of modern chemotherapy is not too bad. It really isn't. And because we've got, when I started, everybody would be sick with chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Even if I met them in the hospital corridor before they got up to the chemo unit, they'd be sick just seeing me. I mean, one of my friends, the patient, he met them in the supermarket and they were sick in the supermarket, for goodness sake. And that's called psychogenic vomiting. Now we've got drugs that control that. So chemotherapy, and also the nurses run chemotherapy services now, not the doctors. And they're much, much better at dealing with patient feelings, people's anxieties, and making the whole thing quicker and smoother, and making sure people have a good journey, not a bad journey. So it may be that your mum is actually okay, basically.
And that, again, it goes, because I suppose we have kind of progressed a lot, haven't we, with regards to medicine and treatments, etc., which is probably, well, not probably, is for the better, I suppose. Whereas I suppose unless you're actually in that environment, you don't realise what it is or what it consists of. But obviously it's just automatic. When you see things on in TV shows, it kind of sticks with you, I suppose, doesn't it? But but fingers crossed, things are, because we've got Heidi who's again saying, at what age should men start getting the PSA levels tested at, especially when it runs in the family and being Afro-Caribbean heritage?
Right. So Heidi, I mean, you're right. Afro-Caribbean heritage has a higher risk of prostate cancer. Not only that, the men of Afro-Caribbean descent have a high risk of having a bad type of prostate cancer. So it's worth doing the PSA. The difficulty is that what do you do if you get a positive result? When you get to my age, the PSA goes up a little bit, and that's okay. It goes up with age because the prostate enlarges as you get older, and that's why a lot of people have to go to the loo during the night, because the prostate's irritating and the bladder needs to be emptied in the middle of the night. So the problem we've got is that if you have a PSA that's mildly elevated, probably that's okay. But if it's very elevated, it needs investigation. It needs a scan and it needs a biopsy to see if there's cancer. And there's no doubt that I think within the next 2 or 3 years, the advice that to have PSA levels done will become commonplace within the NHS. And we certainly do them at the Rutherford. We're doing a day in Reading. We have a day with the Lions, the Reading Lions, the charity. And last year we had 1,500 men. I think this year we'll have more come just for a free PSA to check. And it's sort of awareness. And again, if people have symptoms, it's not screening, it's a diagnostic to see if the symptoms are due to cancer rather than to something else. So, I mean, again, it's back to this business that men tend to just downplay their symptoms. So someone gets up at night. I'll tell you, the one that they don't downplay is if blood comes out somewhere. That men go running to get help. But
yeah,
bit of getting up at night, a bit of difficulty starting to pass urine. Men tend to ignore it, and they shouldn't ignore it. They should do something about it. And there's lots of ways into the NHS, not just through your GP. Phone 111, which is the service online. It's very competent. They follow algorithms, computer controlled, and that's a good way to get in. There are NHS drop-in clinics. There's all sorts of things out there. And women use them, but men don't. And I really encourage men that are listening and the women partners that they have to use them.
Most definitely. And I just, it's one question that I wonder about, all the time. Obviously, I lost my father 5 years ago to cancer. And it was really strange because he was poorly. And he went into hospital, and obviously they did x-rays, etc., and they said it was pneumonia. Apart from a bit of pneumonia, his lungs were completely clear, but he just wouldn't get better. And within a case of about 2 weeks, he'd gone from having no cancer in his body to absolutely being riddled with stage 4 terminal cancer.
Right.
I mean, in my kind of mindset, it was like, no, that's not right. Do they call it a lot of people refer to it as galloping cancer?
Yeah. They used to call, in tuberculosis days, when TB was the big problem, it was called galloping consumption. So galloping cancers. I've not heard that. You made that up, but I think it's a very.
I might have even made it up myself, no, but I think it was. That's what someone said, at the hospital at the time, because even the GP, he was not the GP, the doctor, sorry, the consultant. He actually showed the radiographer the 2 X-rays, and was what can you tell me? And he said, oh, that person hasn't got cancer, and that person has, but it was actually the same X-ray. Well, it wasn't. Yeah. X-ray, but the same person, but within just about 14 days, it was real.
Right. What was the source of the cancer? Was it prostate or lung?
It actually started off in the lung. It started off as lung cancer, and it just sort of appeared. It was automatically, they said, stage 4, there was nothing can be done. And obviously, it spread through his body very quickly. But
each cancer behaves differently, and it's difficult to predict what's going to happen. So, when people in the films, they say, how long have I got, Doc? And it's 3 or 6 months usually. But it's not like that in real life, because you have no idea, because cancer behaves so differently in people. Also, in older people, it tends to grow more slowly than in younger people. So, very aggressive cancers in the 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds happen, and that's sort of, as you call it, galloping cancer. It just the good thing is it usually responds to chemotherapy better, but not always, and that's the trouble. That it's very challenging. So that modern treatment now is based on what we call personalized medicine. That you take the tumor and you look for molecular changes in the cells and try and predict what's going to happen. So you have a guideline to know what's best for that individual. So rather than treat a whole group of men with the same thing, everyone gets treated differently. That's the plan for the future.
And this time goes on. Michelle, who's joined us tonight as well, she's into her 4th year of battling cancer. Do you know what I mean? It's and she's got what about this new cancer drug that we can't get? do you what is it with this postcode lottery with regards to,
I
to
know.
treatments, etc.? It's just, but again, it's
I
expensive,
know.
isn't it?
I mean, it is a little crazy that this country, for a variety of reasons, is very strict about regulating drugs that can be used. The drugs are there, they're available, you can buy them, but they're very expensive. So the most single expensive cancer drug costs £500,000, and no one can afford no healthcare system can afford. Yeah, I mean, just imagine if prostate cancer, 44,000 men a year get prostate cancer. If they all had to have £500,000 worth of drug, it's just not feasible that we could afford to pay for that as a nation. It's just not going to be done. And so the only way forward is to get the drugs to come down in price, and that will happen. I think the drug you're referring to is abiraterone, which was actually discovered in the UK and is available in the States. It's available in every Western European country, but it's not available first line for prostate cancer in Britain. I mean, it's a crazy situation. Yeah,
it really is. Honest to God, it really is. Now, just to quick, I mean, I could honestly, I could just chat to you all night.
it's great.
I need to get you on again. Just quickly, do you think, or do you know, is there? I mean, surely this is me and my head again, Professor.
Right.
There has to be a cure out there that has been discovered already for cancer.
Yeah, I mean, the conspiracy theory is that all us oncologists know what the cure is, and we give it to ourselves and our family, but we keep it away. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a job. It's a pill. It's an aspirin pill or something. What's likely to happen, and what I've seen when I started as a consultant, this is 41 years ago, about 35% of people with cancer were cured overall, men and women. Now it's 51%. It's gone up, and you almost don't notice it. You just don't notice the change. I mean, I can vividly remember when I was a senior registrar at Cambridge. So I wasn't a consultant yet. I remember testicular cancer, chemotherapy had been discovered that really worked. 98% chance of curing people for testicular cancer. Doesn't work for lung cancer, the same chemotherapy, doesn't work for breast cancer, all these other things. So it was amazing. And, I can remember the boss, the consultant, telling me, oh, this young man, he's got spread of testicular cancer in his lungs. There was a sort of snowstorm of metastasis, as we call them, change of place of cancer. And he said to me, there's nothing we can do, Karol, is there? And I said, well, I've read this paper in America that they're beginning to use chemotherapy and it seems to work. Okay, do it, try it. And I did, and it worked. I thought,
wow,
amazing. And, so a cure is probably not likely to be simple. It's not likely to be a single pill, but it's likely that as we understand more about the disease and we probe these molecular pathways in cells, we'll understand how best to treat an individual. And the cure rate will go up from 55%, 60%, 70%, that sort of level. Sadly, there'll always be people that will die from it, even to this day, people die from heart attacks, but the number will be much less than it is today. So that's the way I think it'll go.
Oh, bless you. But Karol, and like I said, we would absolutely love it if, at some point again in the future, if you would rejoin us and we can. Oh, amazing! Because we could just probe more and get you on a lot earlier than 7:30.
I'll take the train to Birmingham to do it as well. We can be in the same room. There you go.
We've got amazing coffee shops. We can have a little road show with you, honestly. Yes. But we would just absolutely like to say, thank you for supporting this charity that's now in their 10th year, and for a little family-led charity, the support they offer is absolutely unbelievable. But again, of someone of your stature, to actually support them. It just really does mean the world to us. And thank you. So have you got a little message that you could just give to everybody out there? Let's say the male species.
Okay, so the message is take note of anything that lasts more than 2 weeks. Any symptoms you have, don't be afraid, do something and be persistent. If the receptionist in your GP surgery gives you strop, just be polite, but insist that you get served. And it's your right to do that. And I think men are not good enough at pushing themselves. They get a stroppy receptionist puts them off and they walk out and say, oh, forget it. And they do that. Yeah.
Good old doctor's receptionist. So that's a whole different life. But listen, I look forward to our Balls to Cancer roadshow with you.
Okay, you're on.
Well, listen, you take care and stay safe.
Okay, and you.
Catch up soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Karol Sikora. Good night.
Good night.
Oh my God, you know, I can see you all going cop. Do you know something? When there's someone as nice and that, there's a fine line, isn't there, between who you ask for copies and who you don't ask. I'm only joking. But no, see, there we go. I do think that's the next step of Balls to Cancer roadshow. Yes, put it on our to-do list. Hiya, Emma. Emma's tuning in right at the end, Emma. No, I'm only joking. You know, everybody's welcome at any time, and obviously you can watch him back. He was an absolute fantastic guy, and I do really think actually that's something that we can look at. Is kind of like, you know, fronting a Balls to Cancer to roadshow, and obviously, you know, we've got it now. We said it. The professor will join us. I think that'll be absolutely amazing. You know, we'll find somewhere, get out there, because obviously we're only up the road, aren't we? So you can just pop on a train and nip up the road, and yeah, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So guys, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. You have cheered me up, do you know what I mean? He really was, Heidi, and this is the thing. It's like, you know, like I said, someone of his stature, do you know what I mean? And it's like, he didn't shy away from any questions. We'll just keep firing the questions there, and it's just nice. And it's a breath of fresh air for someone to, you know, not even have to think about the reply. Because, you know, when people have to think about the reply, they're normally fibbing. But no, he was an absolute, we honoured, and he was absolutely fantastic. Julian, what time do you call this? So there you go, guys. Thanks so much for like tuning in and you know, had a little bit of a moan, but you know, hey ho, don't we all? And I will get better. We all will, because I know that the love out there and the support out there is absolutely amazing, as it is in here. # girl child. Have you been beaten by that? Is it spicy? Is it really spicy? Is that why you haven't ate it, or is it you full?
Mind your business.
Mind my business. See, I start to panic when Caitlin doesn't finish food, because Caitlin finishes all food. But honestly, you guys, thank you so much for your support. Again, keep supporting Balls to Cancer. If you can donate, text balls to 70085. No, it's # girl child, so not Julian, not Madge. And visit ballstocancer.com. Don't forget, check out all our amazing events that are coming up, all to raise much needed funds for Balls to Cancer. And until next week, over and out. Absolutely love each and every single one of you. Peace out. We will be fine. Take care. Next week, Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Don't be late. See, everyone's going home. She's really enjoying her burrito. Don't know what I'm going to have to eat, but stomach's rumbling again. Ta-ra a bit, Chrissy. Love you guys. Bye. Don't say anything yet.